Hi everyone, today I wanted to show you how to create this cute little pyramid card. This one's a Christmas card, but you could make these in any theme. It opens out flat like that, and you can still fold it up to pop it into a normal C6 size envelope. And when the recipient gets it out, they just pop that little corner tucked into the slit there, and they can stand it up onto a table or a bookshelf or wherever they want to display it. So it's a really cute little card, and this one's super easy. I've actually done this all in metric measurements to an A4 sized sheet of paper, so you'll be able to make these very easily with Australian measurements and configurations. So this is what you'll need to put the basic card together. There is 3 pieces that go together, and they are actually 10.5 squared, so 10.5 centimetres squared. So I've got 2 of the navy pieces and 1 of the Old Olive piece, so that's 10.5 centimetres squared. And then these 2 are double-sided papers, which we're going to use to decorate the different panels on the pyramid card. As you can see, it's all different on each side, and they measure 10 by 10, but we're actually going to cut those down the middle to put them onto the different sections. Then you'll also need a little tiny piece of the DSP, and that will be 4 centimetres by 4 centimetres squared. So that's your measurements. I'll put these down the bottom of my video so that you can refer to them as you're making your own card. I'm going to bring in my brand new Stampin Trimmer and then use that to cut corner to corner down diagonally on the 10 by 10 pieces of designer series paper. This designer series paper is actually from the gorgeous sweet, I think it's called Christmas is Gleaming or something, Brightly Gleaming, that's the one. And it's got the beautiful copper foil accents in it. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, beautiful. And it'll go with all your copper embellishments as well. There's a whole suite of products that coordinates all together in the holiday catalogue called the Brightly Gleaming Suite. So that's where these are from. So I've cut each of these in half diagonally, and when I put my pyramid card together, you'll see where each of those will go. And the great thing about having a double-sided paper is that you can flip these around and have alternate patterns showing. So it gives you a lot of variety with the paper. Now with our 10 by 10 pieces, the 2 Night of Navy ones and the Old Olive one, I'm going to score diagonally. Now our beautiful new trimmer cuts amazingly. It also scores brilliantly. So we've got a scoring blade here. And again, I'm just going to pop these pieces of cardstock in so that they are end to end diagonally. And you'll see how well it scores those. And that's quite easy to do. You can see exactly where you need to place that along the track to get a perfect score line every single time. So you're going to do that with all 3 of your 10.5 by 10.5 pieces. Then what you're going to do, I'll just get rid of my trimmer momentarily. I'm going to open this out so you can see where to place everything. So you'll see I've got the 2 Night of Navies on this side and the Old Olive here. So if you use my original card as your guide, you'll be able to get the folds in the right place. So this one will go this way. Then you're going to have this one folding inwards, and that will go here. So that's the 2 Night of Navies. And you just want to place it so that those corners there all match up. And again, same with this one. This is your Old Olive. You're going to place it so all of those corners line up there. And then you will have this part, once everything's stuck down, you will have this part here, which will form the 2 smaller triangles. So let's see if I can find a glue that's actually going to work for me. I think this one's good. Okay, so we've got our glue here, and how I work out where to put it is I lay them all out so they're going to be stuck together, and then I just flip this up. So I just kind of eyeball that, and I flip this up and I pop my glue there. The great thing about the Tombow glue is that you've got a little bit of wriggle room. So see, if that's not quite straight, you can actually swivel it around a little bit before it sticks permanently, and then get it in the right spot before you press it down. And again with this side, I'm just going to pop a little bit here, and I'm going to fold that back. So this really is the easiest way to stick it all together. And the glue will dry fairly quickly, and you will be able to adhere your bits of paper that I've got over here. I just realised I'm going to pop this over here for a bit. I need to cut this little bit in half, the 4x4, which is going to go on the smaller triangles. So let me just do that quickly while my glue is drying. So this is the 4x4 piece, which again is from the made from the double-sided paper, but it goes on these two triangles that you've got down the bottom of your pyramid card. All right. So I'll pop those to the side. Now that this has had a chance to dry for a bit, I'm going to get my glue again, and I always use my prototype as a guide because it means I don't really have to think about what I'm doing. It's great. So there's my blue pieces, and you've got the Old Olive as well. So I'm going to do it exactly the same. You just adhere each of the sections as you go. So just a tiny bit of glue is all you need. And because these are 10 by 10, they're actually going to fit really snugly. With just leaving a little, probably about 1 millimetre of the cardstock to frame them. Seems a shame to put glue on this side, but at least you can see the other side of the paper. So you really are showing off every pattern on this paper by adhering your papers this way. And because it all coordinates beautifully, yeah, it's going to look fabulous. Okay, so there's my stars. And then the last bit, I'm going to flip it around this way. So I'll put my glue on this side. And pop that one down there. So you can see how you can you slide it into place. If it's not quite aligned, you've got a little bit of time with this glue before it dries permanently. So that's quite good. Okay, here down the bottom, these are going to be slightly different because I have got the same. I actually used 2 different papers with this one, but I'm just going to use these 2 like that, just so I can use up the square that I've cut. So this is the little 4x4s cut in half, and that will just cover over that cardstock there. Brilliant. Okay, so let's have a look. The whole thing is actually going to wrap around like this. So if we have a look, this is the back, and it opens out, and this will be the front. This is where the foil star will go eventually. But I wanted to show you how to make that little slit that is necessary for the whole thing to lock together so that it stands up as a pyramid. And there's a little secret measurement that I wanted to share with you. You're going to use your trimmer again. I hope everyone's got hold of their new trimmers. The blades, incidentally, will be available in January, so you'll be able to get your spare blades. Now this slit, is actually coming from, we're going to measure from this point here. I'm not sure if you can see that. You've got this square, and there's the corner of this square that ends there. So what you're going to do is measure from that corner down 1 3/4 centimeters. So to do that, I'm going to fold this, and I'm going to grab a marker. just so that I can mark that little spot. So I'm going to go 1 centimetre, 1 3/4 centimetres. So it'll be about there. Okay, so that's where my slit is going to come out from. And now I'm going to turn this round, and the slit will come from this point, but it needs to be parallel. If you have a look, there's my slit. It needs to be parallel with this edge here. Okay, so you've got your triangle point. This edge here is what this slit needs to be parallel with. So I'm going to bring my slit out. Keep it straight there. So basically where I put my mark is going to be where it goes in the track. And I'm going to use the centimetre. I'm going to approximate the 1 3/4 centimetres. So it's about the same size slit as 1 3/4 centimetres. So there it is there. Now let's see if that works. You can always make it a little bit bigger. That's looking good. There we go. So there's the little catch there, and that's going to hold your pyramid together when it's standing up. And then when you want to dismantle it, all you have to do is that, and then you just fold it to go into the envelope. Now I've decorated mine with some of the copper foil stars. So these are also from the Brightly Gleaming suite in the holiday catalogue. All still available, so if you want to get your Christmas cards made with these papers, and there's a couple of different stamp sets actually that are part of the suite. What I've done to decorate my original one is I've actually used a greeting from the Itty Bitty Christmas. So this one here has got some really lovely greetings, and they're a little bit smaller than a lot of the other ones. You can fit them in a word window punch, you can fit them in a small circle, and some of the smaller ones are actually great for a card of this size. What I've done is I've stamped it, so let me just show you the joy to the world. I'm going to use Night of Navy. So here's my Night of Navy pad, and I'll just stamp that there. And I've gone and cut that out at the Big Shot at my die cutting machine using one of the smaller circles from the Layering Circles Framelits. And then to frame it, I've used a scallop circle with the Old Olive, so you can see how that's sitting up there. Now they're just glued together, and then I've popped a couple of dimensionals underneath, and that's all sitting on top of the foil star. And again, you can still fold that up and pop that in an envelope quite easily. I hope you enjoyed that project, and I hope you have a go at making some of these yourself. As I said, you can make them in any theme. You could use any designer series paper, and the measurements are super simple if you're working with A4 sheets of cardstock, and yeah, cutting your 12 by 12s down to 10 by 10 centimetres is actually quite economical as well. Have fun and happy stamping, and thanks for watching.